Hey, it's Melti. It's been a while. I haven't really updated you about my life in the Neverbound universe, have I? I probably should. I guess I should get you guys caught up to speed with what's been happening with me. In Project Ossi, I did live in this adorable pink little house, if you remember, from the live streams I did from it. And if you might also remember that I was planning a little tea party for me and my friends. However, I would never get to throw that tea party because while gathering ingredients, I got sucked into what I assume is a pocket dimension. For me, it had only been, maybe 2 days? But apparently it had been longer on Project Ossi. I had missed a lot. When I eventually got out of this pocket dimension, I wasn't the same. There were these greenish streaks in my hair, and my left eye had turned a sort of goldeny yellow. I had strange purple bruises on, my arms and legs, though I didn't think I had been injured. Eventually, these marks on my limbs began to fade, but the color of my eyes still seemed to stay this goldeny yellow, and there were still these greenish streaks in my hair. Eventually, I began dyeing them over with brown dye, but I couldn't figure out how to get rid of the goldeny eye color, so I'm kind of stuck that way. By the time I had eventually gotten out of this pocket dimension, I realized that it was time to hop. Project Ossi was becoming unstable just like Asharia had, and just like the worlds before it had. So, with everyone else, I hopped. After hopping, I arrived in a forest, but no one was around me. Eventually, I kept on walking, and I found this really, really tall mountain. After climbing up the mountain, I had found that it was our good friend Spontaneous, who had resided on the top of this mountain. And I started to reside on this mountain as well, because, I didn't want to be alone after my crazy experience in the pocket dimension. Eventually, this mountain became known as Tinkertop Mountain, where the town of Tinkertown was built. And eventually, a new person came to move into Tinkertown. This person's name was Emily Ann TV. Emily and I quickly became good friends, and we even made a tunnel in our basements connecting them so that we could just easily go over to each other's houses. It turns out that Emily had just hopped for the first time. One moment she was being crowned as queen, and then another moment, poof, she was here with us. I could tell how shocking this was for Emily, considering it being her first time ever hopping. I barely even remember my first time hopping. It was so long ago. But I understand why someone would be in shock. Some worlds in the Neverbound universe can last seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, decades. They could last any moment of time. And from what it sounds like, Emily's world had lasted thousands of years without becoming unstable, and people had probably forgotten what hoppers are. Emily seemed set on getting home, set on getting back to her kingdom, and I didn't know how to tell her that I don't think there is a way back home. If none of the residents from her previous home were here, it's pretty likely they either hopped to a different world or disappeared along with the original world. But I'll leave it to her to figure it out. As I said, me and Emily quickly became pretty good friends. And one day while we were hanging out at Emily's house, there was a knock on the door.
Hello? I said hello?
Melti, I know you're in there. I can see you. I've come with an important task. I've been asked to deliver this to you. Melti K, you've been fined 100,000 diamonds for platforming the mountain.
Spen came to deliver me a message saying that I was being fined 100,000 diamonds because of my ugly platforms that I was planting my farms on. And I could tell they were ugly from the ground, but at the time I did have a plan to make them better. And according to Spen, the fine wasn't from him, it was from the Tinkertown authorities, which are the people who apparently run our town. I have yet to meet them, but maybe someday I will. After the complete shock of being 100,000 diamonds in debt, things began to calm down a bit, and Tinkertown began to expand more, and there were even elevators and these complex mechanics that I had never seen before. But along with complex mechanics comes the chance that I will destroy one by accident. I accidentally broke the main elevator leading up to Tinkertop Mountain, the only current way of getting up the mountain safely. You better believe I was put in timeout for that one. While Spen was fixing the elevator, apparently Casper had climbed on and had been going up and down the elevator hundreds of times before eventually reaching the top. And when Casper arrived at the top of Tinkertop Mountain, everything was a little strange. Casper seemed a little angry. Apparently, Casper had been left behind in Project Ossi, and when they eventually jumped, they didn't jump to where we were. They jumped to some strange world where they were alone. For them, it was 5 whole years, which is insane because for us, it had only been like a few weeks. Something seemed off about Casper when they arrived, but I never really quite put my finger on it. After this encounter with Casper, not much really happened. Except for one day when I saw this short little creature running around near Emily's house. This creature looked like a very, very small version of Sigma, but not DNA-ified. This was Gnoma, and he looked a lot like Sigma, but apparently this wasn't Sigma. After a friendly little chat with Gnoma, he gave me a Totem of Undying, which is very helpful in my case. And soon I pledged my allegiance to his honey business via contract. Just a few days later, Casper stopped by my door with a request.
Hello?
Hello?
Knock knock?
Hi, Casper.
Hello, Melti.
How are you?
It's been doing okay. It's been a while since I've seen you around here. I am here because I have a little gift for you.
Oh, okay.
And a potential request.
Alright.
So, if you give me just a moment. I noticed with your farms you were missing a few things. So,
okay,
I went on a little exploration. Yep.
Oh!
I went on a little exploration. I found a few things that you might like. The only thing that I request in return is that I might be able to set up a few of these around your farms. It's a source link. Basically, it collects energy from plants that are growing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it deposits it into this thing. See, like that.
That looks so cool. Yeah, go ahead.
And it'll just brilliant. It'll just slowly fill up over time as your plants grow. And just when it's full, swap out the jars for empty ones, if that's okay.
Yeah.
In exchange for a whole bunch of seeds for my farm, they wanted me to put down these weird magical purple things. I'm not exactly sure what they do, but Casper's my friend, so sure, anything for Casper. When I put down these purple things, they began to suck this purpley essence from my plants. However, it didn't seem to be harming my plants at all, so I kind of just was like, okay, go for it. Casper gave me the job of collecting the jars when they were full and replacing them with empty ones, and then leaving the jars in a chest somewhere for them to pick up. After a while, these weird purpley jar things went missing.
Seen what?
They're little curly things with the jar on
No.
I've never heard of it.
I have.
It looked like, wait, hold on, wait. Of course, I thought maybe Spen took them because Spen doesn't know what they are. And I asked, and Spen said he had never seen anything like it. I even showed him one of the extra ones I had on hand. Eventually, Casper gave me a few more, but those went missing as well. But along with the extra jars and stands for the jars, there was this scroll that Casper gave me. It was weird and glowy, and it was kind of cool. However, I messed with it, and
What?
let's just say that I'm not currently in Tinkertown anymore.